The front door was already unlocked when Staff Sergeant Ethan Brooks stepped onto the porch with his duffel bag slung over one shoulder. His deployment had ended 6 weeks early after an unexpected rotation change, and the only thing keeping him awake through 20 straight hours of travel was the thought of surprising his 7-year-old daughter, Lily. He imagined her running into his arms, laughing the way she always had before he left. But the moment he pushed open the door, his roommate turned pale, dropped the grocery bag he was holding, and whispered with trembling lips, You shouldn't see this. You believe kindness, forgiveness, and second chances can change lives. Please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Kindness Corner for more emotional stories that stay with you long after they end. Ethan stood frozen in the doorway. Months of military training had prepared him for danger, explosions, and loss, but nothing had prepared him for the fear that suddenly settled into his chest inside his own home. The silence felt wrong. There was no television playing, no tiny footsteps running across the hardwood floor, no cheerful drawing hanging crookedly on the refrigerator with Lily's colorful handwriting spelling out, "Welcome home, Daddy." Instead, there was only the sound of his roommate, Marcus, breathing heavily as if carrying a secret too heavy to hold. Ethan dropped his bag and rushed past him. Every instinct screamed that his daughter needed him. His heartbeat pounded louder with every step toward the living room. But when he reached the hallway, he stopped so suddenly that he nearly lost his balance. The walls were covered from floor to ceiling with hundreds of drawings, not random sketches, pictures of him. Some showed him in military uniform. Others showed him holding Lily on his shoulders. Some were crayon masterpieces, while others were painted carefully with watercolors. Every drawing carried the same message in a child's handwriting: "Come home safe. I still believe. My daddy keeps promises." His eyes blurred with tears before he could even understand what he was seeing. Marcus slowly walked behind him, rubbing the back of his neck with guilt written all over his face. Ethan finally turned toward him, waiting for an explanation. Months earlier, just after Ethan had deployed overseas, Lily had received devastating news. Doctors discovered she had a rare heart condition that would require surgery. The procedure was risky, and nobody wanted Ethan distracted while serving in an active combat zone. Military counselors, doctors, and Ethan's parents had all agreed that unless her condition became immediately life-threatening, they would wait until he returned. Marcus had hated keeping that secret. Every day he watched Lily ask when her father would come home. Every night he watched her fall asleep hugging Ethan's old military jacket because it still smelled faintly like him. When she became too weak to run outside, she began drawing. One picture became 10, 10 became 50, 50 became hundreds. She covered the walls because she believed every drawing somehow traveled across the world and protected her father. Ethan collapsed onto his knees. The weight he had carried through years of military service suddenly became nothing compared to the weight of realizing his little girl had been fighting her own battle while he was gone. Marcus quietly told him that Lily was sleeping upstairs after another exhausting hospital visit. Ethan climbed those stairs slower than he had ever climbed anything in his life. The bedroom door stood slightly open. Inside, moonlight poured across the room. Lily looked smaller than he remembered. Her cheeks had lost their healthy color. Medical equipment rested beside her bed. Tiny stuffed animals surrounded her pillow like silent guardians. For a long moment, Ethan simply stood there,